The Babysitter. I've grown up as an only child of a single mom. I was lucky that my neighbors Sally and Ryan were always able to look after me when mom wasn't about, to the point I came to view them as a sort of surrogate aunt and uncle. I almost looked forward to my mom leaving for the weekends when I could stay over at theirs for a sleepover. Now, this wasn't to say mom would just abandon me, or that she didn't care about me, no. Just, she had left my apparently abusive father while she was pregnant with me. And, you see, she brought me up all by herself. We didn't have any other family to help out, so I think she just needed a break from it all. I didn't really think too much of it back then. After all, I was just a kid. I was 10 years old when my neighbors had their son Jamie. I remember when they brought him home and Mom and I went around to visit. He was like the little brother I always wanted. It was when I was 18 that Ryan came to the house to ask if I could babysit Jamie for the weekend, as he and Sally had to travel out of town due to the unexpected death of her father. I told him of course I was happy to. I had looked after him a bunch of times over the last couple of years, but never for a whole weekend. Plus, at this point, Mom hadn't come back home from a week away yet, and I was running pretty low on food. Ryan looked at me with a slight air of concern before concluding that there were no other option than me to stay over until Mom got back home. That way, I could look after Jamie and house sit at the same time while they were away. Within the hour, I had grabbed my laptop to finish my college work and had arrived next door. As soon as I walked in, Jamie ran up to me and grabbed my leg. "Hey, little dude," I said as I ruffled his hair. It wasn't long till Ryan and Sally were ready to head off. Sally didn't say much when I got there. I could hear the sobs under her breath as she carried a small suitcase down the stairs. It was a strange feeling I felt for her in that moment. I felt sorry for her loss, yet somehow jealous that she had a father figure like that to cry over. After they had left and I had gotten settled, little Jamie was chilling out on the sofa watching some cartoons while I sat at the kitchen table finishing up a project for college, eager to get it out of the way so I could order some food with the money Ryan left me for the weekend. I was just about done with my work when my phone went off. It made me jump. I was so engrossed I had forgotten I had left it on the side next to me. I looked up from my laptop. Jamie was oblivious to the noise. I checked my phone. It was Mom. I picked it up and walked out in the hallway. "Where have you been? I haven't heard from you in days," I shouted down the phone. Silence. "Mom, when are you getting back home? You can't keep running off like this all the time." Still silence. I stood there, just listening. I could hear the subtle sounds of someone breathing. If you're not gonna talk, then fuck you. I hung up the phone in a temper. What was she playing at? I wandered back to the living room, frustrated at the call when I spotted Jamie peering over the edge of the sofa. He looked worried. "It's okay, little dude. How about we order pizza?" That put a smile on his face. Work would have to wait for now. It had just gone 9 p.m., and when I looked over to the side, I saw Jamie was sound asleep. An evening of pizza, games, and Disney films wore the little dude out. I got up from the sofa and flicked off the TV, turning back to carefully pick Jamie up in my arms and carry him upstairs. After tucking him into his bed, making sure his stuffed rabbit was cuddled up next to him, I made my way back to the kitchen to finish off my project. What on earth was that? It sounded like it came from my house. It had gone 12 p.m. and I was starting to get pretty blurry-eyed from staring at the dim screen in the darkness of the kitchen. I left the house by the front door, making sure to lock it thoroughly behind me. There was no lights on my house, so I don't think anyone had broken in. Maybe Mom was back? I dug my phone out of my pocket. It was Mom again. "What the hell are you doing this late at night? Did you fall over or something?" Again, no response. Just the sound of breathing, this time a little harder though. I hung up. Great. This is just what I needed tonight, I thought to myself. Making my way up to the front door, I went to push it open, but it was locked. Maybe it wasn't Mum then? Then what was that noise? I fumbled around for my keys first before I unlocked the front door and stepped inside, closing the door behind me. The house was still, not a single sign of life or movement. I made my way across the opening hallway to the light switch and flicked it on, the brightness of the light causing my vision to swim momentarily. I didn't even bother to answer it this time, just hanging up straight away. I made my way through the house, checking each room as I did. I swear I heard a smash. It wasn't until I made my way upstairs and into my own bedroom where I caught the glistening reflections of light from the bedroom floor. I switched on the light. There lay the rock, and surrounding it lay shards of broken glass from the bedroom window, which now supported a gaping hole. What the hell, I thought. Did some kids throw this or something? I didn't see anyone outside. There wasn't much I could do though at this point, other than head back next door and contact the police. Someone was hammering at the door. Who on earth could that be? Was it whoever threw the rock? I slowly made my way to the broken window and peered outside. There was flashing blue lights and a small crowd of people gathered outside. Had someone already called the police? Damn it, Mum, not now! I shut in on my phone as I once more hung up again, making my way out of my room and downstairs. As I opened the door, the police officer looked concerned. We wanted to check if everything was okay here, ma'am. One of your neighbors contacted us about someone trying to break into the empty house next door. I froze. Before I knew it, I had bounded past the police officer to next door as quick as I could. I could hear the officer shouting for me, but I didn't have time to stop, didn't have time to think, fumbling in my pockets for the keys. Jamie, he's all alone in there. I unlocked the door and busted it wide open. My heart stopped. My head started to spin as I fell to my knees. My eyes fell upon the blood-covered stuffed rabbit lying at the bottom of the stairs. I could hear shouts from behind me, the sound of footsteps, all muffled in the haze that clouded my mind. I didn't know what to do. I reached for my phone. I had to call Mom. It was coming from upstairs.
Daddy's here now.